Jaya Radha Madhava Sri Radhi Hari Gopi Chandra Girivaradari Gopi Gopi Jangadalaba Girivaradari Gopi Jangadalaba Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Janakira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Jai Radha Madhava Punjabi Prabhupada said this song describes the whole spiritual world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Radha and Krishna, amorous pastime, Gopi, lifted Govardhan Hill, with the Yashoda and the Radhas, giving delight to all the residents of Vrindavan, Yamuna River, so beautiful. Tomorrow's is Disappearance Day. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, text number 8. Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam Tantu Tanvan Patrinyajit Raksha Kama Punyajana Ojas Kamo Murudganan Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam Tantu Tanvan Patrinyajit Rakshakama Punyajana Ojaskamo Marudgana Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam Tantu Tanvan Patrinyajit Rakshakama Punyajana Ojaskamo Marudgana
Dharmartha Uttama Shlokam Tanvan Pitrinyajit
Tantu Tanvan Patrinyajit
Rakshakama Punyajanam
Rakshakama Punyajana
Ojaskamo Marudgana
Ojaskamo Marudgana Dharma Uttama Shloka Tantu Tanvam Pratyunyajet Rakshakama Punyanjana Ojaskamo Varudgana Dharma Artha for spiritual advancement. Uttama Shlokam, the Supreme Lord or persons attached to the Supreme Lord. Tantu, for offspring. Tanvan, and for their protection. Pitrin, the residents of Pitraloka. Yajeta, Yajet, must worship. Rakshakama, one who desires protection. Punyajanan, highest persons. Ojakama, one who desires strength should worship. Marupganan, demigods. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee for spiritual advancement in knowledge, and for protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty. One should worship the various demigods. Purport. The path of religion entails making progress on the path of spiritual advancement, ultimately reviving the eternal relation with Lord Vishnu in his impersonal effulgence. His localized Paramatma feature, and ultimately his personal feature by spiritual advancement in knowledge. And one who wants to establish a good dynasty and be happy in the progress of temporary bodily relations should take shelter of the Pitris, demigods, and other pious planets. Such different classes of worshippers of different demigods may ultimately reach the respective planets of those demigods within the universe. But he who reaches the spiritual planet in the Brahmajyoti achieves the highest perfection. Om Jnanatamannasya Jnananjana Sadakaya Chakshum Militam Dena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Mukam Koti Vacharam Pandam Kayati Yat Kripa Kadaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Vanchakapi Vishya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. It is said, Akama Sarvakama Moksha Kama Bhakti Rena Bhakti Yajeta Purusampara. Whether one is full of material desires, has no material desires, or is desiring liberation, one should worship the Supreme Personality of God. Even if one is full of material desires, still one should worship Krishna. Because by that worship, we get purified. Or one has no material desires, is shanti, satisfied, still worship Krishna. Now we have the big games, soccer games. And some of these players, they're worshipped. They're so good. And I remember the boys told me in India, they, their big game is cricket, right? Someone told me that for 76 years they haven't qualified for soccer because that's not their game. Their game is cricket. the best athletes, they go to cricket. They don't so good, yeah, play soccer. But the boys told me that there was one game, cricket, where the best player, he wasn't playing up to his standard, and they lost. And he went home, and his fans had burned his house down. It's a setup. It's a setup for happiness and distress, these games. Just like now they're having the World Cup. And there's so much dukkha. Sukha is there too, but only one team wins. And everybody else laments. The one team that wins, they're happy all the way through. Yahoo! They're happy all the way through. But the other team, the ones that lose, oh, whole countries are just billions of people. There's about 8 billion people, and this is the main game on the planet. So we're talking about billions of people lamenting because a ball didn't go where they wanted it to go. And they're watching sometimes. I remember reading that 1 out of 5 games, no one scores. They're watching the ball go back and forth for 2 hours. No score. This is my setup for dukkha. Yeah, it's just material life. That's a place of suffering. But if Krishna, he appeared in India. Now, if he was on the India team, they would qualify. Because all Krishna would have to do, he wouldn't even have to kick the ball. He could just be the goalie. You know, Prabhupada, he played soccer, you know. He played the goalie because he didn't want to run back and forth. Prabhupada's smart. So he played the goalie. So Krishna, he wouldn't even have to kick the ball. He could just be the goalie. When they try to put it in his side, he'd just catch the ball and throw it. And they would go. He would score. And then he wouldn't have to just throw it. He would score every time. He wouldn't miss. And India would win every time. Because Krishna just has to throw the ball. No effort. Yeah, this is Krishna. It's like also they have the Olympics. I read one, or I saw one documentary about the price of the gold. People that win the gold, their life becomes miserable. Yeah, their life becomes miserable because they put so much energy, just years, and just focus on the goal, and they get the goal, but then now they become history, and they spent 4 years just total absorbed, and they didn't set up for the future. So it's just that it was amazing, and their life becomes miserable. Now, if Krishna were to go into the Olympics, he would never lose. They have the running, right? Krishna. Right? Lifting weights. He doesn't go over downhill. Krishna would win all the gold medals. This is Krishna. Krishna's cool. So many competitions. The swimming, right? Different types of swimming. Throwing. Yeah, Krishna would win all the gold medals. Dhenukasura. Yeah. He was pretty heavy, probably. Krishna, sure. And all of them they just killed them all. So this is Krishna. He's the best. Therefore, we have a chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Wonderful Krishna. Wonderful Krishna. Who is this? They were asking after Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill, the Gowar asking, who is this boy? He said, we're just thinking he's a boy. He's lifting go downhill. He's killing all these demons. Who is he? And then Nanda Maharaj had to smell out. Gargamuni said, he's actually God. A little more respect. But Krishna had to cover this. Sometimes he had to cover up this information that he's God. Otherwise, the intimacy isn't there. The, the yoga mind is like see, here in this world, practically everybody is in Mahamaya. Everybody's thinking, I'm this body, I'm the enjoyer, I'm the proprietor. Now, if you go to the spiritual world, they're also in Maya. They're in yoga Maya. They think Krishna's just an ordinary boy. And even in Vaikuntha, they're also in Maya. They're thinking Vishnu's supreme, but Krishna's supreme. So everybody's in some type of Maya. But the best Maya is yoga Maya. That's the best Maya. This is the Maya we want. This Mahamaya, oh man, we've had enough of this. This is like too much. We want to enter into the yoga Maya, where we're so dear to Krishna that Krishna covers it up. Covers it up. We don't know. We just think he's our friend and wrestle with Krishna. So this is the best Maya. And we're on that journey. This is a journey. It's not an easy journey. But if you get something easy, you give it up easily. But if it takes all that you've got to achieve it, you'll never give it up. So we got to give it all we've got. Give it all we've got. Just like these Olympic people, they give it all they got. But then, lamentation. They get the gold. Yeah, got the gold. So much joy. All the relatives are in. Wow, cool, you made it. But then, lamentation. Now what? That's the material world. But if we give it all we've got for Krishna, then what? Go back to the spiritual world. Go back to the spiritual world. So this is the highest goal, and we get the highest reward by surrendering to Krishna. So here it says Dharma Artha, for spiritual advancement. Persons worship Krishna, and this is real. This is real success. It's like we have Elon Musk now. He's the wealthiest person on the planet, and people, I'm sure, so many people are envious of him. But that's not advancement. Yeah, that's not advancement. Yeah. I'm sure he's experiencing. He's had 4 marriages. He's got, like, I don't know, 17 children or something. So he's been through so much misery, and more misery will come. I was talking to one person on book distribution yesterday, and he was saying, I'm always trying to get that lottery. If I could just get the lottery, my life would be made. I said, it's God's grace on you that you never won the lottery, because lotteries ruin people's lives. So many people's lives have been ruined because when a poor person becomes a millionaire, then all of his friends who are also poor people, they want, hey, you're my friend, come on. And they're just after him for money. Whereas rich people, all their friends are rich people. So they're not friends just for money because they have money. When you have a lot of money and your friends are all poor, they're after your money and that's it. So you don't know who your friends are. Like Ambarish Prabhu, he once told me, he said, Vijaya, I don't want to be rich for my health. Because when you're rich, you don't know who your friends are. You don't know who your friends are. So it's actually, to become very wealthy, it's a curse. It's a curse. But if we become wealthy spiritually, like I told this person yesterday, I said, if you become wealthy spiritually, then you'll be happy. And he became so happy. He raised his arms and said, thank you, God, for not giving me a lawyer. This person just told me how to do worse. So he got books, and he didn't get very much. He was poor. But I said, now you read these books, then you'll be happy. You'll get real joy. He wanted me to sign the book. He said, I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember this day. I'm going to remember this moment because you have. I'm not going to spend any more money on lottery. People spend a lot of money on lottery, isn't it? Dreaming, hoping that they get that thing which would be the cause of their suffering. No, real happiness is in service to Krishna, service to the Vaishnavas. Here in the purport, Prabhupada mentions it, that the path of religion entails making progress on the path of spiritual advancement, ultimately reviving. It's there. It's like there's people that say that we were never with Krishna. We were never with Krishna. But how can you revive something that was never there? Yeah. So we're reviving. We're reviving that love for Krishna. Nitya Siddha. There's not Nitya Siddha. Krishna Prema. It's there. Love for Krishna. It's there. I asked one devotee who believes this, that we were in the Brahma Jyoti. I said, well, if we were in the Brahma Jyoti and we had a and we're here, why is it some are here and some are in the spiritual world? I said, well, how's that work? And he said, well, you get a choice. You can go to the material world or go to the spiritual. I said, well, wait a second. We don't know about. We're in the Brahma Jyoti. We don't know about the spiritual world. We don't know about the material world. Why would we choose? We don't know. I say it's just so ridiculous. So ridiculous. If we knew about the spiritual world, and we knew about the material world, so much suffering, who would want to go here, right? And the spiritual world, there's no death, no old age, no disease. Krishna's there. Everybody would go there, right? No anxiety. So the idea is just like, it's insane. So now we're trying to revive what is actually there, already there. Nitya Siddha Krishna Sadhikavana Shravanadi Sudhiti Kore. And how is it revived? Hearing. We got to hear it for a long time and attentively. We got to hear it attentively. Just like Prabhupada said that if you chant 16 rounds a day and you follow the regular principles, I promise you, I guarantee you'll go back to God. There's a quality. There's a quality. If we're chanting our 16 rounds and watching movies at the same time, or I've seen that. I saw another guy who was playing soccer while he's chanting his job. Now ain't gonna overcome. Krishna's not impressed. No, you can't. The quality has to be. Therefore, we have to pray. We got to pray for good quality. We got to pray for good quality rounds, and Krishna he reciprocates. Yeah, and therefore Krishna he says, "Yato nischalati, manaschanchala asya tatastato niyamyata atmanyeva." From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must bring it back under control. Stop. You have to keep on bringing it up. Don't go over there. That's nonsense. Don't go over there. I asked one sannyasi, so when you go on these long flights, what do you do on these long flights? He said, well, I'll, read Prabhupada's books and chant. But after a while, I've read and I've chanted and watch a movie or two. So I asked Vaisesika Maharaj just last night. I said, Maharaj, what do you do on these long flights? He said, well, I read, I chant, and sometimes I download education information that will help me in my writing or in my preaching. I said, well, that's smart, because after a while, on these long flights, 12, 16 hours. We love Prabhupada's books, but you want a little variety. So, and chanting, of course. But then I thought that's a great idea. Just find some information, download it, and learn on the fly. There are two movies. I told you there are two movies that are bona fide. Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. It's a beautiful movie. St. Francis. The person, I forgot his name who did that, but he did a fantastic job. Jesus of Nazareth. The same, he did the same. He did both of them. The second part is kind of, but the first part is. Zaffarelli, huh? Yeah, I think so. Zaffarelli. Yeah, Zaffarelli. Italian. So, but yeah, dude, both very well done. So much devotion is there. So we have to keep focusing on Krishna always. Always focusing on Krishna. That's a big test on those long flights. Where's your consciousness going to go? He said a lot of times he also tries to just sleep because you're in there with these people and they got everybody's watching the movie, so you got a person next to you watching another person, so it can be distraction. so he said I try to sleep as much as possible, and when I get wherever I'm going, I'm refreshed. I've had a good rest. That's a good one because everybody's attracted to these movies. Probably the worst thing that ever happened to society was movies and television because it goes into our subconscious. I mean, I remember watching movies before I joined, and they're still there, is it? 48 years later, it's still there. Like, God, the mind is like better than a computer. It's just and very detailed things of things that you remember and heard. It's just terrible. And all these people that are producing these movies, they only have one thought. They want to make a lot of money. They want to make a lot of money. So, of course, now there's Mahabharata, which is, it's hard to find a Mahabharata where they're speaking English. Right? It's all Hindi. So hopefully they'll get that together. But that's also nice. And of course, then there's essence of the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita. Fortunately, we have books that are ever fresh. Krishna was blessed. Who was he blessed by? That everything you speak will be ever fresh. Anybody know online? Who was Krishna blessed by? That whatever you speak will be ever fresh. His guru. Sandipani. Yeah, because he brought his sons or son or sons. I think sons. Son. Anyway, either son or son. He blessed whatever you speak will be ever. Of course, he doesn't need to be blessed. Krishna doesn't need to be blessed. But he thought, all right, yeah, thanks a lot. So we read the Bhagavatam, so nice. You read it over and over again, Bhagavad Gita over and over again. Vaisheshkamara, he's probably read the Bhagavad Gita, I don't know, hundreds of times. I don't know, maybe thousands of times because I asked him how long he's been on the Chad program. And he said, about 45 years. Yeah. He because the reason he was doing it, the reason he started doing it is because he was reading letters to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada would tell his disciples, I think it would be very good if you read a chapter a day because they were having trouble. Read a chapter a day Bhagavad Gita. So that's what came from Prabhupada. So that'll keep me healthy. And not many people are healthier than Vaisheshika Maharaj as far as spiritually. It's like he's totally focused on Krishna. So this Purpura goes on to say, well, he gives the example of the Lord Vishnu and Paramatma, and then the Brahmajopan Prabhupada gives the example. There's a couple of examples of It's like I've had that example where I'm traveling on Sankirtan, and in front of me, there's something that could be a mountain or it could be a cloud. And then you appreciate this example, right? You can't tell. It's like, tell. Is it a mountain or a cloud? Then you get closer. Now that example is the Brahmajyoti. You can't tell. Is it a mountain or is it a cloud? That's the Brahmajyoti. Then you get closer, it's definitely a mountain. That's Paramata. Mm-hmm. Then you get closer, you actually get on the mountain, and you see the rivers, and you see the deer, and you see the greenery. That's Krishna Loka. That's the spring. And then Prabhupada gives the example of the sun also. You have the rays, and then you have the planet, which is the Paramata. The rays is the Brahmajyoti. And then Vibhishana, the sun god. That's compared to Krishna, spiritual world. So devotees were not satisfied with the Brahmajyoti because we know Aruru Shisina Parampata Potentu Nan that one is not satisfied and therefore they fall down again in the material world because bliss isn't there. There's knowledge and there's eternity, but there's no bliss. And that's our nature. We want bliss also. Knowledge and eternity. Important. But bliss, that's actually what's most attractive. So that's there in Krishna Loka. And Krishna is known as Kautukarnava, which means he's the source of all entertainment. And Kautuki means he's got the best sense of humor. Kautuki, he's got the best sense of humor. Just like throughout the world, there's so many comedians, and some of them are like good. Some of them are like multi-millionaires because they're so funny. Where do they get their ideas from? In Krishna. They get their ideas in Krishna. Krishna's got the best sense of humor. So when we do make it back to the spiritual world, we're going to be laughing a lot. Krishna's got a great sense of humor. And it's a place of bliss. It's a nice place. So then he goes on to say, and one who wants to establish a good dynasty and be happy in the progress of temporary bodily relationships should take shelter of the Pitans and the demigods and other planets. Of course, we don't want that. Such different classes of worshippers of different demigods may ultimately reach the representative or respective planets of those demigods within the universe. But he who reaches the supreme spiritual planet, the Brahmajyoti, achieves the highest perfection. So the Brahmajyoti is also there, the effulgent rays of Krishna. It's there also. And therefore devotees pray, Krishna, please remove this effulgence. It's so bright I can't see you. Please remove this effulgence. So Krishna is what is most attractive. And this verse is so nice. One should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee. Actually, Krishna is more pleased than please the devotee. You want to please me? Please my dog. Please the dog, then the master's automatically pleased. So the spiritual master, he's what is most dear, or the pure devotee is what is most dear to Krishna. So if we please the pure devotee, if we please Krishna, if we please the pure devotee, then we're set. And what is it that pleases Krishna the most? What is it that pleases the pure devotee the most? Therefore we say it. Guru Vakshita Sakshadhari Naina Samasta Sastra. that the spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord. Why? Because he's the most confidential servant of the Lord. Back in 1966, Prabhupada was given a talk, and he said, you should see the spiritual master as God. And devotees were shocked because they had heard that only Krishna is God. So they were becoming a little doubtful. And now he's saying that the spiritual master is God. They became doubtful. And so at that time, Keith was in jail because he was, I forgot the reason. Anyway, he was in jail. It was actually for some Krishna conscious reason, I can't remember. So he was the wise one of them. So they went and visited him in jail and said, Swamiji said that you should see the spiritual master as God. So, but he said we shouldn't see anybody as God but God. So what do we do? And Keith said, yeah, you go ask him. Go ask him. So they went back and asked him, Swamiji, you said that we should see the spiritual master as God, but you said we should always only see Krishna as God. He said, no, the spiritual master is to be worshipped as God, as though he's God, but he's the servant of God. There's the servant God, yeah, and there's God, servant
God, Master God.
Servant God, Master God.
Etc.
Yeah, servant God. Because he's such a good servant of God, of Krishna, that one should worship him. And Krishna's pleased by that. Actually, he's more pleased when we serve the devotees. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, don't try to see God, but act in such a way God wants to see you. So if we're serving the pure devotee, if we're preaching this message of Bhagavad Gita, of Srimad Bhagavatam, then we have a favorable glance of Krishna upon us. We don't see his glance upon us. But he says, Yaidam Padamangu Yam Mad Bhakte Savadhashisi Bhaktim Ramkritam Mami Vaisari Samsa Nachata Manushesi Kashyame Priyakritama. Anybody who is preaching this message of Bhagavad Gita is most dear to me, and there'll never be anyone more dear to such a person. So we're in good shape. I used to think quite often that on book distribution, we're in the best situation on the planet. We're in the best situation on the planet because we're doing what is most pleasing to Krishna and to Prabhupada. So I had an interesting experience a couple of days ago. I was on book distribution and I had just started, but I was already tired. I was thinking, man, why is this? And I was suspecting that I'm getting old. I was suspecting I'm getting old. Anyway, I continued distributing, but then I thought I better just take off. Now this is on a Saturday, so I was thinking I should just take off on Sunday. Usually I go out on Sunday, go to the farmer's market. But I thought I should just rest, take it easy. There's no pressure. There used to be pressure. No pressure, just take it easy, relax. And then I watched this. I wasn't going to go out Sunday morning. I was all right. I'm just going to rest. So then I watched this lecture by Gayatri Prabhu, old Prabhupada disciple. And he gave such a fired up lecture on book distribution. He was telling the old days. And after listening, I thought, forget it, I'm going out. So I went out, and it was so nice. So nice. Met so many nice people. So many people who took books. And Krishna let me do it in less time than I usually say. He let me rest a little bit more. So in 2 hours, I did all my books. There's so many nice people. So it's by association of devotees that we get inspired. Just like Nirakula Mataji, she recently had her birthday, and it was very nice. Yesterday they had all these sponsored Bhagavatam, so many devotees were sponsoring Bhagavatam because of Nirakula Mataji. Who was also she's very exalted Mataji, and she said, and, Vaiseshika Maharaj, he spoke, her glories, and then she came up and she started her talk with, "How could anybody not love such a person like this?" She said, "We're all here because of him," and it's true. So the temple room was packed. Why? Because of Vaiseshika. And on Janmashtami, I heard I think about 10,000 people come. Why? Because of him. Because of him. So he's giving such inspiration, and you know, ultimately, we're all inspired by Prabhupada. This movement is still going on so nicely. So many books are being distributed, so many people are doing it, so many things are happening now that we've become mature. One devotee used to say, when this movement started, there was only one mature person in the movement, Prabhupada. We were all so young. Everybody was in their 20s. All the GBC members were like, 22, 28. Now we think about it, that's a kid, 22 years, that's a kid. And we're in charge of the movement, yeah. So immature. So Prabhupada was the only mature person. Now we have so many mature people. He's been in the movement. Now by Sesama, he's been in the movement for 53 years. Just just strict all the way through. So much maturity, so much, been through so much, seen so much. And so many devotees like that now. Just, stuck all the way through. Very strict, very mature. Yeah. So you get so much guidance from so many devotees now that Prabhupada was touched. So, any question? Normal? Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for a very nice class. I just was recalling, because you were talking about the Olympics, I think it was 1990 in Miami Airport.
Yeah.
And the Japanese and the Koreans were very tough to sell a book to. Very tough. So I stopped.
They still are.
They still are, And so I stopped these two gentlemen, Asian gentlemen, one from Japan, one from Korea. And I have the Krishna book, and I just am opening and I start showing them the pictures. And there's the picture of Krishna punching Kamsa, the picture of Krishna throwing the donkey in the tree. And then it just dawned on me. I look up at it and I say, official book, the 1990 Korea Olympic Games.
Say it again.
The official book.
Oh, this Tara said to the Japanese and the Korean, this is the official book.
I was showing you the pictures.
He was showing the pictures of the Krishna book. This is the official book
of the 1990 Korean Olympic.
Of the 1990 Korean Japanese Olympic Game. And they both took books.
Well, they took one book.
They took one book. They were happy. Well, now if a team wins, like we're distributing books, the games are being played in America and Canada and Mexico. So if a team wins, when you find out, then you Spain, keep dry, yeah, Spain, yeah. They're much more inclined to come and take a book. Yeah.
This is the good luck book. If you take it, the team will win.
Yeah.
Whatever. In a nice way of saying it.
Krishna. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada. Vijaya.
Please be checked out to the sea.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.